Hi everybody, my name is Priscilla. So we are in the season of Lent, and most of us are on a prayer and fasting season. So let's think about fasting. And if we look at Isaiah chapter 58, God is talking about true fasting. And he is saying many of us are fasting, abstaining from food, or maybe the things we like. Maybe you're abstaining from social media, whatever it is that you feel that you are abstaining from, which is really a sacrifice because you like it. But then God is saying, is that the true fasting? Because he's saying, we seem eager to know God. We seem eager to know the ways of God. You see, when the word seem is used, it means it's not real. We are projecting ourselves as people who want to know God. We are projecting ourselves as people who want to understand the ways of God. But the truth is, we are not interested. Because God is asking, how is it possible that you're fasting, but at the end of the day of fasting, you're insulting people? At the end of the day of fasting, you have oppressed your workers. You're not even paying them the wages. Or if you are, you're not paying them the right wages. How is it possible that you're fasting, yet at the end of the day of fasting, you're quarreling, you're causing strife? How is it possible to separate fasting and praying with justice? Because God is just, and he requires that we have to advance his justice. What do I mean? That you cannot oppress others and then claim to be fasting. At the very least, what you'll be doing, you'll be starving yourself. At best, you'll be on a weight loss program. After 40 days, I can guarantee you will have lost a few pounds or a few kilograms. But God is looking at us and saying, that is not what I call fasting. What does God call fasting? Is taking care of the very issues of justice, setting free the oppressed. If you find that people are not being paid well, be their advocate. If you have to speak, even if you have been angered, hold on a little bit so that you do not use words that are going to injure, that are going to cause wounds rather than heal. At this point, if you're also looking for your own spiritual healing, you need also to be an agent of healing. And God is saying, once you become an agent or an advocate of justice, only then will your healing come. And only then will your righteousness shine forth like the dawn. You have to be an agent of breaking the yoke of oppression. But you cannot be the oppressor and at the same time you are fasting. They just don't go together. In this season of Lent, and especially for you who have taken time to do some fasting and prayer, reflect on that. Even before you go further, reflect on what kind of fasting that you're doing. Is it just a ritual? Is it just abstaining from food? Is it just looking sorrowful? By the way, you shouldn't look sorrowful. It's a time to shine for God. Or are you really minding how you're treating other people? Are you really telling God, yes, there are times when I've not been very nice to other people. There are times when looking back, there are times when I've not been compassionate. I've not been kind. I've not been godly. And I want God to change that. I want Holy Spirit to help me change that. If that is not your kind of prayer, if it's all about, hey, our church said that we should be fasting for 40 days, and therefore I am not eating lunch. Guess what? You're starving yourself. Get yourself a bowl of food and eat to the full, because that is not fasting. What God requires is an inside job of ourselves, that we look inside and look at our mistakes and look at where we are falling short, so that we don't end up starving ourselves. And at the end of the day, God is looking at us and saying, you're wounding my people by the very words that come from your mouth. You're wounding my people by your actions. You are being oppressive to my people. You are being oppressive to your very workers. And especially for those of us who God has granted us or have privileged us to be in authority. You know you have power over some people. Be very careful the words you're using when you're talking to them, because your word will have power over them, and they may not have the agency to tell you, no, I cannot do that, no, I don't believe that, because maybe if they say that, then there'll be consequences. Are they happy that you're their boss? Are they happy that you're fasting? Can they see any change? Or are you even worse? Because when you're hungry, you become also very angry. So if you're not being led by the Spirit, you will end up being a very angry person, and you will be a menace to the people around you. So let us ask ourselves, what kind of fasting are we doing? Are you doing a true fast of advancing justice? Or are you doing a weight loss program? Or at worst, are you starving yourself? This is the word for today with Reverend Priscilla.